ಯಾವ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್? ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹಿಂಗನ. ಹೌದು.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, जगत गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय, पतित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय, टैगोर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय,
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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन
चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य,
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य,
प्रभु नित्यानंद,
प्रभु नित्यानंद,
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर,
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर,
शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद,
शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामी निकरामे, नमः आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायने गौरकथा दामदाय नगरधामताय। So today again is a very special festival. What is it?
Chida Dahi festival.
Chida Dahi festival. Anybody knows anything about Chida Dahi festival? Yeah.
So this is celebrated in the Navdeep PaniHati festival, where I'm 40. Is it some Goswami? I think so. Rupa Goswami or somebody had come to meet Lord Chaitanya, and he was a very rich man's son. He had lots of Lakshmi. So, but he was very hesitant to approach Lord Chaitanya. So Lord brought him in front, and he was told that okay, you feed all the devotees today. So he got everybody 2 earthen pots, one with mango yogurt, and one was elaichi flavored this normal yogurt with chida, as in with beaten rice, yeah, puff, the beaten rice, yeah. So Chida Dahi jo maan bolte, just Bengal mein is Chida Dahi, and that everybody could celebrate together. Sabko bhavan offer kara, they all had, and they said that the line was so long, like even the demigods had come to take that prasad. So it's a very, very auspicious and very, very important festival for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and we all celebrate every year.
Very nice. Anything else? Anybody knows? Okay, awesome. We'll start discussing about that same pastime. So there are 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan who are very, very prominent amongst many, many associates, devotees of Lord Chaitanya. 6, they are eternal associates of the Lord. They are Manjaris of Radharani eternally in the spiritual world. But they came here as the 6 Goswamis. Anybody knows the names of the 6 Goswamis? Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami,
Gopal Bhatt Goswami.
Okay, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, that is our sector. Harivansh Prabhu comes in another sampradaya.
Yeah.
He's different. Shri Harivansh Mahaprabhu, he is a different sampradaya. But he is also very prominent. He is considered to be the Venu of the Lord, the flute, incarnation of the flute of Krishna. Okay, so there is Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. And as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is extremely important for us to know the life of all of these Goswamis. What did they teach us? They have written so many literatures. Because how many literatures did Mahaprabhu write?
None.
One.
What is that one? Yeah, Shikshashtakam is not a literature, it's a prayer. So he wrote the prayer. Mahaprabhu had written a lot of literature, but then he threw all of that into the Ganga and he instructed the Goswamis to write literature. So the message of Mahaprabhu is hidden in the work of Goswami's literatures, right? So it's important for us to know the mood, and towards the end of this session we'll understand what the mood of these Goswamis are, what are they trying to teach us. But if we have to strongly connect with our sampradaya, sometimes many people think, "Arey, why connect only to one sampradaya? Why? There are good sadhus everywhere. Let's go, thoda everywhere. We'll do a little bit, right?" It never works in spiritual life. Allegiance to or loyalty to one sampradaya is extremely important. Any sampradaya you take for that matter, Sri Sampradaya, Vallabh Sampradaya, or any sampradaya, devotees in that sampradaya understanding the value of their sampradaya and being loyal to them is extremely important. They can respect all other sampradayas, but their loyalty to their sampradaya should be like non-compromisable. This one reference, one understanding, how we can understand this is Madhvacharya. He was giving commentary to Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. He gave commentary to every chapter except, I think it's the 53rd chapter or something. He didn't give commentary to that chapter. And the disciples asked, why you didn't give? Madhvacharya said, that is the Brahma Vimohan Leela. Lord Brahma getting bewildered and kidnapping all the Gopas and all. And Madhvacharya said, Brahma is our Acharya, main Acharya from which the Sampradaya starts. And I cannot give commentary on something where Brahma got bewildered and all of that. It's an insult to him. So Madhvacharya, who is also the prominent Acharya in Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, we say, he also offered respects to Brahma. Not that he didn't know the past time. He didn't tell it out of respect. Okay? So that's how we should have loyalty towards our parampara. And that we get by hearing about the Goswamis, by reading, studying their scriptures. There is a Shat Goswami Ashtakam. So narrating that Ashtakam every day and learning that meaning, that will help us a lot. Okay. So today,
So, can you elaborate a little more on that? I'm just a little confused between respecting other sampradayas versus loyal to your own sampradaya. Is it wrong to hear them? Because they also have philosophy.
Yeah. So, the analogy by which we can understand is, I studied in Kendriya Vidyalaya, right? And Kendriya Vidyalaya, everywhere in India, they go through the same syllabus, same routine and everything, right? But in some schools, in some places, they say, for example, 8 plus 2 is 10 in one place. But when you go to other place, they might say 12 minus 2 is 10. In some other place, they might say 6 plus 4 is 10. Some other place, 5 plus 5 is 10. Nobody is wrong. They're telling the same thing. There are different ways of teaching that, right? But as a student, if I learn a little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of this, I get confused. What is it? Should I add? Should I subtract? Should I divide? What am I supposed to do? Right? Why are different people telling different things? I get bewildered. That is where I need to be loyal to one school of thought and understand that everybody are telling the same thing in a different way. Respect them, but be loyal to my school of thought so that I can progress there. Rather than thinking, "Arey, that's also nice, let me try it there, let me try it." Because we don't do bhakti for our sense gratification or for our enjoyment. We do bhakti so that we build a relationship with the Lord. We go closer to the Lord. And that's very important. That is why, even in Vaishnava Sampradayas, there are prominent Sampradayas everywhere. When we go to Sri Sampradaya temples, we offer respect, we hear, we glorify their Acharyas. But we are very, very clear what is the stance of our Acharyas. Where are the similarities? Where are the differences? How do we appreciate those differences? That's very important. And even when we go to the spiritual world, this is very, very important. Because every devotee has an individuality. Every jiva has an individuality which never goes away even when they go to the spiritual world. Right? For example, Dhruva Maharaj, when Prahlad Maharaj heard from Narada Muni that serve Narayan, he served, right? Without any questions. When Narada Muni came to told Dhruva Maharaj, you serve Narayan, he said, no, I want a kingdom greater than my grandfather. If that can happen, you tell me. Then he said, yes, you will get that, sir, right? So it's not that Dhruva Maharaj was not obedient, Dhruva Maharaj was very arrogant, Dhruva Maharaj was selfish, sense gratification, nothing. If Dhruva Maharaj was like that, Narayan would not have appeared to him. Mahaprabhu every day would not hear about Dhruva Maharaj, right? It's just that Dhruva Maharaj was a Kshatriya, and by that individuality, by his soul, the nature of his soul was to rule, to control and all of that, right? That is where he did that. Similarly, we see another instance in Mahabharata as well, where Krishna, he pleads with Bhishma that, Dhritarashtra is not listening, nobody else is listening, Duryodhana is not listening. Bhishma, as a minister, as an elder, you convince Dhritarashtra to not do this. And if Bhishma doesn't fight the war, there is no war of Kurukshetra. But Bhishma says, no, I took a vow, he's not listening to me, so I'll continue fighting. And when, in the 9th day, Bhishma started attacking Arjuna, Krishna took out the chariot wheel, started running towards Bhishma, and he tells in Mahabharata, this comes where he says, you foolish Bhishma, you are the reason for this whole war. Because you are not correct and you are having a concocted version of Dharma, this whole war is happening. I will not spare you today. He charges towards them. And Bhishma says, okay, if this is your verdict, I give up. He gives up his weapon. He says, it's auspicious to be killed by you. I'll accept the punishment. Then Arjun holds his feet and he says, Krishna, please don't do this. Tomorrow I will kill Bhishma. You don't break your vow for me. I will kill him. You let it go. The next day, 10th day, Arjun, we know, he defeats Bhishma, puts him on the arrow bed and all of that. The war is over. Yudhishthira Maharaj has a dilemma. Again, the individuality role. Arjuna had a dilemma before the war started. These are my brothers, my teacher, I learnt archery from them. I have to use the same archery to kill them. What is this? I can't do it. So that was his individuality. He had that dilemma, and Krishna didn't say, I am God, fight this war. Half a shloka, done. No need of 700 shlokas. But Krishna reasoned it out with him, told him about modes of nature, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything he told. And finally told, surrender to me. Why? Because Krishna acknowledges and respects that individuality of every jiva. Right? So Arjuna had this dilemma before the war. And Yudhishthira Maharaj had the dilemma after the war. After the war was over and he's supposed to take the throne, Yudhishthira is crying there. Because of me, so many people got killed. I wanted property, I wanted kingdom, and so many became homeless, widows and all of that, right? So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, I won't take. And then Krishna again spoke to Yudhishthira. But Yudhishthira did not get convinced. Right? He said, no, I won't do it. Now, is Yudhishthira Maharaj arrogant? Right? Somebody might say, Arey, Pandavas are pure devotees. He just did Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. Krishna personally is saying something and Yudhishthira is not listening. So arrogant. But no, Krishna used to offer obeisances to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Used to call him as Dharmaraj. He was elder in age. Right? Then Krishna took Yudhishthira. He told, I cannot convince you. I'll take you to a senior devotee. Sometimes when we give classes and some question comes, we say, sorry, I don't know the answer. I'll check with senior devotees and I'll tell you. Krishna did that. He took Yudhishthira to whom? No, he took Yudhishthira to Bhishma Dev, who was in the bed of arrows. And there Bhishma spoke Vishnu Sahasranam. He told the knowledge to Yudhishthira. He told them how to serve, how to lead, what sort of dharma to perform, Raja Dharma, Grihastha Dharma, all of that he gives. And then he looks at Krishna, he glorifies Krishna and he gives up his body, right? So there also, when Bhishma says that, because of me this war happened, please forgive me. Krishna says, this war did not happen because of you. This war happened in spite of you. In spite of you telling so many things that happened, don't worry, you are glorious. And then Bhishma ordered Krishna, you stand in front of me as Parthasarathi with a smiling face, look at me pleasingly, and seeing your face, I want to leave my body. So what sort of devotee can have this glory? And if Bhishma really didn't follow Dharma, he went against Krishna, he didn't listen to Krishna, can he have this sort of departure? That is where sometimes as devotees, when we don't have enough maturity of understanding, of shastras, of mentality, of mindsets, we start offending that, Karna was like this, Bhishma was like this, Arjuna did this, Bhima did this, or whatever. We start criticizing devotees. Dhruva Maharaj didn't listen, that's why he is in material world, right? But you have to understand, every soul has an individuality. Krishna respects that individuality, right? Which means even in the spiritual world when we go, there might be clashes because of individuality, and we need to learn how to live in harmony with those differences. Learn how to appreciate those individual differences. And that training for that happens in this material world. And that is why we can do that, practice that thing here itself by appreciating other Sampradayas, other Vaishnavas, other Acharyas. Because if we can't deal well with them here, how can we go there and live in harmony, right? We'll create havoc there. I think this is becoming a class by itself, but does this answer, Prabhu?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Where were we?
You were about to start about Goswamis.
6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Today we'll talk about Raghunath Das Goswami, right? one interesting thing about the 6 Goswamis are that majority of them are from South India, right? So that's very nice for us. Yeah. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami and Jiva Goswami were Saraswat Brahmins from Karnataka. And Gopala Bhatta Goswami was from Srirangam, Tamil Nadu. Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was from UP. And Raghunath Das Goswami was from Bengal. Right? So today we'll talk about Raghunath Das Goswami. Right? Now, like Prabhu mentioned in the beginning, Raghunath Das Goswami was the son of a very, very wealthy government official of Turkish Empire at that time called Govardhan Majumdar. Govardhan Majumdar was Raghunath Das Goswami's father, and his uncle was Hiranya Majumdar. They were so wealthy that they were tax collectors. Every day they used to collect 20 lakh gold coins. Out of that, 15 lakh gold coins would go to the government, 5 lakh gold coins to themselves. So per day, 5 lakh gold coins they are earning, right? And they had so much money that they didn't have time to count how much money they have. Today we can say Elon Musk is a trillionaire, Ambani is a millionaire. For Govardhan Majumdar, you can't even put a tag because every day he's earning so much, you don't know how much he has, right? In that wealthy family, Raghunath Das Goswami appeared. But from the very beginning, from very childhood, Raghunath Das Goswami had access to pure Vaishnavas. He had association of pure Vaishnavas. His guru, his Kula Guru, who used to come to the house and serve the deities, was Yadunandan Acharya. And Yadunandan Acharya was the disciple of Advaita Acharya. Right? Advaita Acharya, I don't know how many of you know, he's part of the Panchatattva. And who is Advaita Acharya originally? Sadashiva and? No, not Brahma. Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. He is a combination of both of them. That is Advaita Acharya. And that Advaita Acharya's disciple was Yadunandan Acharya, who was the Kulu Guru of Raghunath Das Goswami. Advaita Acharya, anytime he accepts a disciple, he gives Diksha to them, he has a rule. They have shikas, he ties their shika to a pole. 4 or 5 disciples, he'll tie them to a pole. Until they chant 64 rounds, he will not open that knot. They have to sit in one place, chant 64 rounds, then he will open the knot and feed them prasad. If this was the criteria for all of us to take initiation, how many would take? Right? 16 rounds, whenever you do morning, night, sleeping, walking, still then we struggle. Right? But Advaita Acharya had this rule, and Yadunandan Acharya was one of the products from Advaita Acharya's university. And then another, this was Kula Guru. There was other Shiksha Guru called Balaram Acharya. Right? And this Balaram Acharya was a close associate of Haridas Thakur. And who was Haridas Thakur? Yeah, he was a Namacharya. He used to chant 192 rounds. And Yadunandan Acharya used to chant 128 rounds. Although 64 was the mandate, he used to chant 128 every day. So such prominent Acharyas. And as children, whenever we see someone, they start imitating, right? They see Bollywood actors, cricketers, and they start imitating. Here Raghunath Das Goswami grew up seeing Vaishnavas. And he would go see how Haridas Thakur was sitting and chanting. And where was Haridas Thakur, where he used to chant?
In his own hut.
In his own hut. Where was that hut? We discussed the whole life of Haridas Thakur, no? You were not there?
I was not there.
Okay. Anyway, we'll keep discussing again and again. But Haridas Thakur used to sit inside a forest in a cave with, in that cave, snakes were there. Fully snakes were there. So he used to sit there and chant Harinam 3 lakh times, 192 rounds every day. And when devotees would ask, why are you sitting with snakes and chanting? Haridas Thakur would say, outside the people are so envious that they don't allow me to chant. Snakes are better because they're not disturbing, they're just going around. And I'm chanting. But outside they're even more envious. So it's better I stay here and chant.
And he was not Hindu, I believe, right?
He was a Muslim. He was born in a Malecha family. And he is originally Brahma, the same Brahma who underwent the Brahma Vimohan Leela. And he, again, long pastime by itself, but he is Namacharya. Like, if anybody wants taste for holy name, we should worship Haridas Thakur. We should offer prayers to him. So, Raghunath Das Goswami would go to that cave, see how Haridas Thakur is chanting, come back to his house, sit and chant like that. Hare Krishna, like that he would sit and he would imitate them. He would imitate Advaita Acharya. He would see all of these and get inspired, motivated by them. And his parents were okay with all of this because they thought, Hare, so cute, small boy doing all this. But when Raghunath Das Goswami became a teenager, adult, he still got attached to all this. And now the parents started worrying, what is this? What is my son doing? Right? What will happen to him? Once, we know that Mahaprabhu, do you know where Mahaprabhu took sannyas? He took in a place called Katwa. After Katwa, he wanted to go to Vrindavan. But Nityanand Prabhu cheated him and brought him to Shantipur so that Sachi Mata could meet in Advaita Acharya's place. Shantipur is 1.5 hours away from Mayapur, Navadvip. So Mahaprabhu came there. Raghunath Das Goswami heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here. He ran there. 10 days Mahaprabhu stayed in Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. Raghunath Das Goswami served Mahaprabhu personally. He offered prasadam. He ate the uchishta. In the night he served the lotus feet, massaged the lotus feet. He got the highest elite service of Mahaprabhu. At the end of 10 days, Raghunath Das Goswami told Mahaprabhu, I want to come with you. This was a common trait you see in Chaitanya Leela, Gaur Leela. Throughout, whoever comes in contact with Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu is leaving, they say, Mahaprabhu, we want to come with you. We want to leave everything and join you. We got so much bliss, we don't want to leave this. So Raghunath Das Goswami said that. Mahaprabhu said, no, this is not the right time. You go back to your house. When the right time comes, you can come. So very dejected, Raghunath Das Goswami went back to his home. But he was not able to live peacefully. He was very, very restless. He tried multiple times to run away from the house. But Govardhan Majumdar, he used to employ all his servants, catch hold of Raghunath Das Goswami, bring him back. They tied him to the chair, didn't work. They gave him lot of wealth, didn't work. They gave him prestigious positions and fame, did not work. They even got him married to a beautiful lady who was compared to an Apsara. They told Grahastha life will bind him, nothing can free him now. But that also he didn't get attached to. He kept running away to meet Mahaprabhu. And Govardhan Majumdar was getting worried what to do. Govardhan Majumdar told him, see, I will not allow you to run away, but whenever Mahaprabhu comes to Shantipur, you can go meet him and serve him. So, Raghunath Das Goswami kept trying, didn't work. Next time, Mahaprabhu again came to Shantipur. Again he stayed 10 days. Again Raghunath Das Goswami went, personally served Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. At the end of 10 days asked him, I am dying in your separation. I am unable to breathe, unable to live, unable to do anything. Please accept me. Please allow me to come with you and serve you. At that time Mahaprabhu actually scolded Raghunath Das Goswami. He blasted him saying, I just heard you got married recently and you are doing Markata Vairagya, Falgu Vairagya. Anybody knows what is Markata Vairagya? Yukta Vairagya and Markata Vairagya difference?
Falgu, I understand, it's a fake kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
You imitate but you are not.
Okay. Markata Vairagya. This comes in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna accuses Arjuna of doing Markata Vairagya. So, huh? You are renouncing your duty. Yeah. So, but what is the meaning of Markata? No, monkey.
Oh.
Markata means monkey, right? So, monkey Vairagya, what that means is, monkeys, where do they stay? In palaces?
No, trees.
Trees, forests. And what do they wear? Designer wear Prada and all of those things? No, they don't wear anything. What do they eat? Fruits, berries, whatever they find. They don't cook paneer butter masala and all of that. Very simple sattvic food, right? No non-veg also. And do they have a 3 BHK house, Bhartiya City, Shobha City? Nothing. Wherever they get shade, they stay, right? Isn't this what Vairagya is? But are they detached? No. All the time they are restless. Where will I get banana? How can I steal this? How can I take that? Jumping from one place. That is Markata Vairagya. Externally looks like renounce, internally restlessly desiring material things, right? But Yukta Vairagya means engaging whatever we have in the service of the Lord. So Krishna says to Arjuna and to all of us, perform Yukta Vairagya. Don't do Markata Vairagya. Externally don't say, oh, I have bhav, I will give up this, I will give up that. Use whatever you have in Krishna's service, right? So who scolds this to whom? That he is doing Arjuna. And in our pastime,
Chaitanya was holding to Raghunath Das Goswami.
Raghunath Das Goswami. At the end of this class, at least that name we should get. Raghunath Das Goswami. That is also a success. So he scolded her that you should go back. Very, very dejected, very sad, with tears, Raghunath Das Goswami goes back. And seeing him, Govardhan Majumdar is extremely happy. Now he got the jatka. Because Govardhan Majumdar was thinking he'll go away this time. Mahaprabhu will say, come with me, I can't do anything. But Mahaprabhu said, you go, don't do Markat Vairagya. So the Govardhan Majumdar thought, oh, very nicely he preached, very, very good. Then he was there. One night, his Kulaguru, he came home. Who was the Kulaguru of Raghunath Das Goswami?
Yes.
Raghunath Das Acharya.
Yadunandan Acharya. He came, he said, I have an urgent meeting to go to. I can't put the deities to sleep today. What to do? So Raghunath Das Goswami said, I will go put the deities to sleep, don't worry, you please go. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he went in the night, the temple was outside, so he went outside. he went with a genuine intention to put the deities to sleep. But the moment he went outside, he saw behind no guards, no servants, no security. Raghunath Das Goswami used to have Z plus security wherever he went, so that he doesn't run away. He saw there was nobody there. He forgot about deities, he forgot about putting them to sleep. He ran from there. And he ran halfway and he realized, if I run in this direction, tomorrow morning the guards will come faster and they'll catch me. So he took another direction, the longer route. He went through jungles and forests and mountains and all of that, and he ran towards Puri, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying. And Raghunath Das Goswami kept running without stopping, not even walking, running, no eating, no sleeping. He ate 3 times in 15 days. It took him 15 days to reach. 3 times, whatever devotees offered, he ate that. And he ran without stopping. And then he reached Jagannath Puri, right? That much of desperation he had. But before this, I think I missed a very important part, the main part of this festival, right? What happened was, before Yatunanda Acharya came and told all of this, Raghunath Das Goswami was very disappointed, sad, and he got to know Nityanand Prabhu has come to a nearby village called PaniHati. PaniHati is the name of a village. Even today that village is there, and that tree is there under which Nityanand Prabhu had Prashadam. And from ISKCON, Mayapur, many buses go. Hundreds and thousands of buses, devotees go in buses to Panihati and they celebrate. Right now they must be doing that. In Mayapur live also we can see that. So we'll see what that celebration is all about. Okay. Is there a time limit? Okay. So Raghunath Das Goswami goes there and he goes to Panihati. He sees Nityanand Prabhu sitting there and he's giving some katha under a tree. He's talking to a few devotees. Very handful of devotees were sitting there, just few of them. And then Raghunath Das Goswami from far, he looked at Nityanand Prabhu. He soaked in that beauty, that all that charm and wonderful moon-like effulgence of Nityanand Prabhu. He was soaking in. Then he offered obeisances from far, right? And he was standing there. He was just offering there. And why he didn't go was he thought, my material qualification, my material wealth, my material opulence is the greatest disqualification in serving the Lord. And because of that disqualification, I don't have any right to go in front of the Lord. Right? That is what he was thinking, because that's what stopped him from going to Mahaprabhu. This is what Kunti Maharani tells in Bhagavatam 1.26, 8.26. She says, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shrivir Edamana Madaha Puman Na Eva Arahati Abidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. That Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta and Shri, these are Na Eva Arahati. These are disqualifications in the service of Lord if they are not used in the service of the Lord properly. Here Raghunath Das Goswami was using, still he considered it as disqualification out of his humility. He was standing far away. And Nityanand Prabhu was immersed in giving katha. One servant came to the ears of Nityanand Prabhu and told him, Nityanand Prabhu, there is one son of Govardhan Majumdar, a very wealthy person. Wealthy people everybody knows. Like, who doesn't know Anant Ambani? Who doesn't know Elon Musk, right? So he went and he told, Govardhan Majumdar's son is standing from far and he is offering obeisances to you. Nityanand Prabhu got angry. He stood up. He shouted from where he was. He called Raghunath Das Goswami as thief. He said, you thief, you are stealing, you come here, you want to steal from me. Right? Then Raghunath Das Goswami came there. And other devotees are thinking, he is the greatest, wealthiest person. He only doesn't know how much wealth he has. Why would he steal from a Avadut Brahman like Nityanand Prabhu? Why would he steal? What can he steal? But what do you think he was stealing? Huh?
Bhakti.
He was stealing bhakti in what form?
Hearing him from a distance.
Hearing him from a distance, offering obeisances from a distance. Okay. What else? What else was he stealing? No idea? He wanted, what he was stealing from Nityanand Prabhu was, what is the only property of Nityanand Prabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to directly take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without going through the Guru, without going through the Parampara or Vaishnava Acharyas. And that is why Nityanand Prabhu called him a thief. You want to access Chaitanya without me, you are a thief. Right? This is the greatest lesson for us. I think we can have a separate class on this only. I'll still talk about it because it is extremely important. And sometimes we talk about it theoretically, but we don't understand the depth of going through the Parampara, going through Vaishnavas to Krishna, approaching Krishna through Vaishnavas. So, if you see, in the Shastras it is mentioned, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Hoy, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. The verdict of all the Shastras is, if you have Sadhu Sangha, for how long? Lava Matra. Just a fraction of a moment if you have Sadhu Sangha can change your direction completely, can change your life, and you will attain all the siddhis that you can possibly attain. Right? In material and spiritual world, you will attain all that siddhi. This might seem very theoretical. Okay, some glorification of sadhus is happening. Right? How many countless examples are there of this statement? Right? Narada Muni itself is the prime ambassador of this shloka. Narada Muni first went to a hunter called Ratnakar. This Ratnakar hunter was killing animals mercilessly, brutally for his children, for his livelihood. Narada Muni came into his life, told him, why are you doing this? Said, for the family. He said, you go ask your family, tomorrow when you have to suffer for these sins, will they take a share? His family said, why will we take share? As a husband, it's your duty to give. You give. So then he realized that he became a disciple of Narada Muni. And Narada Muni told him, no, leave all this, chant the holy name, chant Ram, Ram, Ram. He's trying, it's not happening. Then he said, chant Mara, Ulta. And Mara means to kill. This you can chant. He was very easily chanting Mara, 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 Mara. And that became Ram, Ram. And he was chanting, this Ratnakar was chanting with so much intense absorption. Generally when we chant, if the power cut goes, we are distracted. If one ting-ting in the phone, we are distracted. Right? We are so distracted in our chanting. This Ratnakar, by the mercy of Narada Muni, was so absorbed that an anthill formed over him. And then he came out of that anthill and he got the name Valmiki. Valmika in Sanskrit means anthill. So that sadhu who sat under an anthill and he performed tapasya, performed Harinam, he became Valmiki. This same Valmiki, as a hunter, he was so brutally merciless. When he was sitting in his ashram and he went to take bath, he saw another hunter killing a bird. And the wife of that bird was crying. Seeing the tears of that bird, Valmiki spoke a curse, to that hunter. Then he came back thinking, why did I curse the hunter? Oh my God, how can this happen? How did I get angry? Then Brahma appears there and he tells, you did not curse, that is not a curse, that is actually a shloka. And I made Mother Saraswati sit on your tongue and I said that shloka. And that is the bija shloka, the seed shloka of Ramayana. Ramayana starts with that, right? Now I am empowering you to write Lord Ram's pastimes. Right? That is how, and you can see at one point he was killing animals mercilessly. Now he is cursing out of compassion. Oh my God, how can birds be killed? How his life changed. From a hunter he became Valmiki, Mahakavi, right? Similarly, Mrigari. Mrigari used to half kill animals, and when they would suffer, before dying, he would enjoy, right? And then Narada Muni came into his life and he told him, you just chant holy name, everything will be taken care. So Mrigari said, what about my food, my stay, what about all this? Narada Muni said, Harinam will arrange all that, you do that. Mrigari did that. He sat in a hut, he started chanting. The villagers came, they made a hut, Bhajan Kutir, they gave him all the prasadams thinking a sadhu is here, they made nice boga and they brought him. Then when Narada Muni came, he saw one sage walking towards him and he was dancing and walking. Narada Muni thought, I came here for Mrigari, who is this sage? The sage said, I am only Mrigari, Narada Muni. And he said, why are you dancing? He said, there were ants walking, I didn't want to stamp on them, so I was jumping around and walking so that I don't stamp. So that merciless Mrigari, by the association of Narada Muni, he became, so compassionate. Another, from Krishna Leela, do you know any pastime? Narada Muni's mercy, they got Krishna's mercy. They were living in the courtyard of Nanda Bhavan for thousands of years.
The Nalkuber?
Yes, Nalkuber and Manigriva. Krishna broke a pot in Mother Yashoda's house. Mother Yashoda is chasing him. She ties him to a wooden motor, grinding motor. Damodar Leela happens. Krishna is enjoying this Leela with all the Gopas and Yashodamaya and Gopis. There he looks at these two trees, Yamala Arjuna trees, who have been standing there from thousands of years. And looking at them, Krishna remembers Narada Muni, his dear devotee. He remembers, my dear devotee Narada Muni, bless them that I will deliver them. So I have to do that. Right? And in the middle of Raj Leela, he goes away, he takes out time, he drives that wooden motor, goes to that Yamala Arjuna tree and delivers them. Right? And who were these Yamala Arjuna trees? Manigriva and Nalakubera. They were the sons of Kubera. They were enjoying heavenly pleasures. What all we aspire in this material world, they had abundance of that. They were enjoying with beautiful apsaras. When Narada Muni came, apsaras covered themselves. But out of pride, they didn't feel the necessary to cover. So Narada Muni cursed them. That you don't want to cover? Okay, be trees. No need to cover. Then they begged mercy from Narada Muni. Narada Muni said, You will become trees in the courtyard of Nandabhavan, and Krishna himself will come. Imagine if Narada Muni had not come into the lives of Nalakuvera and Manikriva, would they have ever met Krishna in their life? Any millions of lifetimes? Never, right? But because of that, Krishna came, he had delivered them, they came in their heavenly forms, offered obeisances to the Lord, and why they were trees for so long is, in that period, they contemplated on their mistakes, they purified themselves, they saw Krishna Leela happening in front of their eyes, they saw Krishna Katha being spoken by Gopas and Gopis, they became purified, and then they went back. Right? This happened by the mercy of Narada Muni. This is what Krishna does. Generally, we tell Vaishnavas, please pray for me, please bless me, right? And we say that as a formality. Oh, you are going here, please pray, right? We don't understand the meaning. But this pastime shows the depth of Vaishnava's prayers, Vaishnava's blessings. Because when a Vaishnava prays for a soul, when a Vaishnava blesses a soul, the Vaishnava might forget, that person might forget, but Krishna will remember. Krishna will remember that this soul was blessed by my devotee. And out of love for that devotee, Krishna will ensure he is in the right place at the right time to deliver that devotee because of the blessing of Vaishnava. That is why Vaishnava's blessings are very, very important in our life as well. Right? So Narada Muni, and you might think Narada Muni is uplifting all these fallen people. But no, Prahlad Maharaj, who was the guru of Prahlad? Narada Muni. Prahlad never saw Narada Muni live face to face. He heard Vani, right? And if Prahlad Maharaj can hear Vani of Narada Muni and become Mahabhagavat, we also have access to Srila Prabhupada, Acharyas like Prabhupada through Vani. We are so fortunate, right? Prabhupada is like a representative of Narada Muni. Prabhupada, Ramanujacharya, all of them, they completely transformed so many lives in this material world, right? Not just that, Vyasadeva as well, Narada Muni's disciple. Vyasadeva gave so much to this world that nobody else gave. Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, everything he gave. And he's sitting and crying on the banks of Saraswati. Wow, I'm not happy. Right? When Narada Muni comes there, tells him, in all of this you have glorified the Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, all of those things. You write a scripture which is bereft of any kind of Purushartha or anything, and which only talks about uninterrupted, unmotivated, loving devotional service of the Lord. Write Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Vyasadeva wrote that, and he became a disciple of Narada Muni. He took the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, he wrote Bhagavatam. So Vyasadeva also got mercy from Narada Muni, right? Now this Narada Muni, who transformed so many lives, fallen people, devotees, everybody he transformed. And that Narada Muni got the desire that the greatest loving devotion is with, who's the greatest devotion? Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. The greatest loving devotees of Radharani, Gopis, Krishna. Radharani and the Gopis are the greatest devotees. Narada Muni thought, I want access to that love. I want to go associate with the Gopis and serve them. He goes to Lord Shiva, who was Gopeshwar Mahadev. He goes to his brother Lord Shiva and tells him, I want entrance into Vrindavan. What can I do? Lord Shiva says, you go sit on the banks of Govardhan and you offer your prayer to Vrinda Devi. She will come and she will give you entrance. Vrinda Devi is the main deity. She will arrange for the meeting of Radha and Krishna and she will give you service. Narada Muni goes there, inspired by Lord Shiva. He sits on the bank of Govardhan. Today it is called Narad Kund. So he sits there and completely meditates, complete absorption in the mood of loving service to Radha and Krishna. Completely gets absorbed. A lady walks up to him, holds his hand and picks him up. This was Vrinda Devi. Vrinda Devi picks him up and she takes him to a place called Kusum Sarovar. How many of us have been to Kusum Sarovar? No? In Govardhan? Okay. I'm a little cautious of time, but I'll talk about Kusum Sarovar because it's a very, very special place. Kusum Sarovar, how it came was, there was a forest nearby Kusum Sarovar called Pushpavan. That forest had very fragrant, effulgent flowers, very colorful, fragrant flowers it had. So Radharani and the Gopis would go in the morning to that forest, pluck the flowers, and come back to their houses, make garlands. In the evening, they would go to Radha Kund, and Radharani would offer that garland to Krishna. Here also you see how the service is happening. All the Sakis, all the Manjaris will serve the Sakis. All the Sakis will assist Radharani. They will make the garland, all of that. But eventually that garland, who will put? Radharani will put on Krishna. Everybody will sit behind. That is the beauty of devotional service and going through Vaishnavas, that etiquette, right? So Radharani used to do that. Every day this happens. One day, Krishna thought, let's have some fun. Morning he went. Radharani's gopis, they plucked the flowers, they were coming out. Krishna stood there dressed as a merchant, as a trader. And he said, I am, the king of this forest. I am Vanadev, I am king of this forest. And you are plucking, you are stealing these flowers and everything from this forest. You are not authorized to do this. You are not giving me tax or anything. So you are very immoral. Then Radharani realizes who this person is. She comes to the front and she says, you fool, you are calling us immoral. You are stealing butter from every house in Vrindavan. You are stealing. And you killed a woman who came with motherly love to feed you milk. You killed that Putana. You killed a calf, Vatsasur. You are dancing with other people's wives in the middle of the night in the forest. You are doing immoral activities and you are calling us immoral. Then all the Sakis, they become happy, they encourage, let's do it, right? And then Krishna says, okay, I am guilty as charged. You suggest what punishment you want to give. All the Sakis and Gopis and Radharani unanimously they declare the punishment is you should make garland today, and for a change you should put this garland on the hair of Radharani. Every day Radharani puts it on you, today you do that. And Krishna agrees. He takes that flower, makes the garland, and he says, I want to sprinkle achaman on this garland before offering to Radharani. Give me water. In that nearby place there was no water. Then they say, sorry, no water. You get water, you arrange it. It's your seva, you figure out. We can't tell you anything. Then Krishna goes, nearby there's a place called Kusumban. Krishna goes there, he takes his flute, pokes his flute into the ground. And that from there a hole is formed. And then Krishna's love for Radharani manifests in the liquid form as Sarovar there. And that is Kusum Sarovar. Krishna looks at that Sarovar and he smiles. And the reflection of his loving smile on that Kusum Sarovar water filled the entire Vrindavan with loving ecstasy. And that place became Kusum Sarovar. And Krishna took water from there and offered garland to Radharani. And that is Kusum Sarovar. And there's a very special devotee in the banks of Kusum Sarovar. Who's that? Narada Muni? No, not yet. Very, very special. Uddhava. And Uddhava said that Asamam hi charanarenu jusham maham sham vrindavane kimapi gulmalata aushadi. That he prays to Lord Brahma, if we all pray that don't give another life, get me out of the cycle of birth and death. Uddhava prayed, I want one more life, but not a human life, not an animal life. He said, give me the life of a gulmalata, a grass, a creeper on the banks of Kusum Sarovar, because the gopis would go to Kusum Sarovar with pots to serve Krishna, and their dust of lotus feet will touch me and I will get uplifted. I will get Krishna Bhakti. That he offered as a prayer. And it is said even today that in the creepers of Kusum Sarovar, Uddhava is there, personally. Devotees are very careful when they go towards that side. They don't stamp those creepers, right? So, Vrinda Devi takes Narada Muni to Kusum Sarovar and she tells you, take bath and come, we'll go. Right? I'll give you entrance to Krishna's Leela. Narada Muni goes, walks into Kusum Sarovar, completely submerges himself, closes his eyes, completely meditates on Radha Krishna, comes out, and Vrinda Devi is laughing. She's smiling. All the gopis are laughing. Narada Muni thought, what happened? When he looked at himself, he got transformed into a 8-9-year-old gopi. A small girl, 8-9-year-old girl. He became Naradi Gopi. Then Vrinda Devi, she held his hand, took him to Rasa Leela. Whole night Narada Muni danced in ecstasy in Rasa Leela along with Krishna. Complete ecstasy. He was so absorbed in that ecstasy, he didn't want to leave. Then the night Rasa Leela got over. Vrinda Devi again brought Narada Muni out. And now she told him, now from Naradi Gopi you become Narada Muni again and spread the glories of loving devotional service that you experienced here to the entire world. And then Narada Muni, he goes to Govardhan, he sits in a bank and he starts crying. With his tears formed Narada Kund in Govardhan. And he wrote scripture, a literature called Narada Bhakti Sutra, in which he wrote 84 aphorisms, like shortcuts, keys he wrote about pure bhakti, about the love of gopis. About 1 decade back, 10 years back, 2016, 2017, in our study classes, we used to discuss from Narada Bhakti Sutra when we were in Shampur, Ati Nagar. Right? But anyway, so that's how Narada Muni, who delivered so many people, when he wanted Krishna's love, he had to surrender to gopis. And the gopis, when they want Krishna, they should surrender to Radharani. Right? So this is extremely important, that without Vaishnava's mercy, we cannot get Krishna. And here Nityananda Prabhu is telling Raghunath Das Goswami, you are a thief, because Krishna is the property of the Vaishnavas. Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his bhajan, Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, he says, Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite para, tumhara shakati आचे आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली दैतव पाचे पाचे ओ हे वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर इदसे करुणा कोरी. So he says, Krishna se tumhara, Krishna dite para. Oh Vaishnava Thakur, Krishna is yours, he is your property. And Krishna dite mara, you can give me Krishna. Tumhara shakati ache, it is your right and it's in your power to give me Krishna. And what is my position? Amito Kangal, I am a useless beggar. I might have bank balance and property and family and all of that, but when it comes to wealth of love for Krishna, I am a beggar. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Prema dhana bina dharitra jivan. Without love for Krishna, that life is like a beggar. Right? So Amito Kangal, Krishna Krishna Boli. As a beggar begs for alms, I am going around begging Krishna, Krishna, give Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Right? Amito Kangal, Krishna Krishna Boli. Daitava pache pache. To this Daita, to this servant, you please shower your mercy. Ohe Vaishnava Thakura, Doyala Sagara, Karuna Kori. Right? So please bless your ocean of mercy, you please bless me with Krishna. So this is how Raghunath Das Goswami, he goes, approached Nityanand Prabhu. And Nityanand Prabhu told him, the punishment is, this is also called Ganda Mahotsav, because this was the punishment to Raghunath Das Goswami. He told him the punishment is that you have to feed all the Vaishnavas who are here. There are only 5-6 there. Because we see this prata, right, where for a class only 5-10. But when prasadam starts, it's filled. This starts from that time only. When Nityanand Prabhu is giving class, 5-6 are there. But when prasadam comes, we'll see how many will come. Right? So he said you have to feed prasadam. Raghunath Das Goswami became happy. Yes, that is my mercy. I'll feed prasadam. I'll feed. What should I feed? He asked. Nityanand Prabhu said, you feed Chida Dahi. Chida is chipped rice and Dahi you feed. Raghunath Das Goswami thought, and all the devotees there thought, what is this? He has crores of gold coins. Nobody knows how much he has. Nityanand Prabhu is asking him to feed Chida Dahi. And from the time Sudama took chipped rice and curd to Krishna, the brand value of Chida Dahi had fallen. It was very low. So now Nityanand Prabhu is telling, you give Chida Dahi, that's enough. Right? Why do you think Nityanand Prabhu told this? What lesson could be there in this?
That Vaishnavas are not attracted to wealth of yours, material wealth.
Okay.
They're very simple. Yeah.
They are simple.
So all he wanted that he should serve Vaishnavas. So he just.
Very nice. What else? It's from Vaishnava's perspective. What about our perspective? So generally, when we sponsor a feast, what do we say? Put more items. Everybody should know whose feast it is. Right? They should know who made this puri, biryani, paneer, this, that, right? If we make this Janmashtami, if you organize Janmashtami, they should know our Janmashtami is better than other people's Janmashtami. They should have asked who's the organizer, how wonderfully they did, right? The problem with us is, in the material world anyway we are egoistic. When we come to spiritual life also, every activity we do it to massage our false ego. Whether we give class, whether we make garland, whether we cook, whether we serve, we do it for our false ego. And Nityanand Prabhu is teaching a lesson here. We don't want your wealth. We don't want anything. You give your chipped rice, that is enough. Right? Because you serving is more important than you serving lavishly. And that is how Raghunath Das Goswami accepted also. He didn't say, what nonsense, I can give paneer, this, that and all. Why are you asking me to give this? He said, yes, I will serve Chida Dahi. Because I am detached from the fame of that prasadam. I want service. Then he went, he bought all Chida Dahi, mango, this, that, all dry fruits, everything he bought from the market. Right? Because the moment it was announced that now prasadam is served, everybody came, whole village came there. And he served all of them. But prasadam got over. Now other villagers also they are coming because they heard Govardhan Majumdar's son is serving prasadam. There is a feast happening, rich feast. So they all went there. And he made multiple pots. One pot with chipped rice and curd, yogurt and fruits. Another pot with chipped rice and milk and condensed milk, camphor, ilachi, all of those things. So multiple different varieties he did. He made a huge feast. He called all the devotees, everybody came. Then the sellers, the vendors, they got to know that there is a lot of demand for this. They doubled the price And they took their stall near that place in PaniHati, and he's buying everything. You take all the gold coins, you give me this. He served everybody, all the devotees, he made them sit there. Him and his servants, Raghunath Das Goswami and servants, they served every Vaishnava there with this lavish feasts. And like Prabhu said, demigods came, right? And all the land of PaniHati got filled with devotees sitting, no place. Devotees sat on the trees and they had that. Then trees got covered, no place on the trees. Devotees stood in the Ganga and they had Chida Dahi inside Ganga. And while having prasadam, they were all chanting Hari, 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 Hari. They were chanting and they were having prasadam. And that was the PaniHati Mahotsav, right? This happens every year. ISKCON temples, they celebrate. Tomorrow our HBR temple is going as well, the banks of Kaveri, and they are celebrating. But like I said, every year, Mayapur, they go to the PaniHati village where it happened and they celebrate. Actually, if it's getting delayed, please let me know. I'll stop it right there. But I just wanted to share one point. Our dear Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Guru Maharaj, he was extremely attached to this. He is extremely attached to this festival, PaniHati festival. In US, he used to serve in a temple called Atlanta. And there he used to personally celebrate this PaniHati festival. He used to lead this festival. And he named Atlanta as New PaniHati Dham. Atlanta temple, that place is called New PaniHati Dham. Now also he's in Atlanta. He met devotees there recently, right? And then before getting admitted in the hospital. Guru Maharaj every year, he used to personally with his hands prepare the Chida Dahi. He used to make different pots, paint those pots and put Chida, different flavors, blueberry flavor, this flavor, that flavor, date flavor. He used to make so many pots. He used to do all of that. And then on the day of the festival, he used to put an auction. And this is $10, this is $20, and everybody would auction for thousands of dollars because they know that this is a pure devotee of the Lord. This is a direct associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as revealed by Srila Prabhupada. And his hands have touched this prasadam. If we eat this prasadam, we will be glorified. So they used to spend thousands of dollars to get those pots, to get that Chida Dahi. And the entire year's donation required to run the temple, Guru Maharaj would generate by this one event of auctioning Chida Dahi, right? And so much love he had. Now he is not well. He's very critical. He's in ICU right now, and he's on a ventilator. And he came out of the ICU again. He went back on ventilator, and he's very, very struggling right now. Devotees worldwide are praying, and if all of us, whatever we can do, one Ugram Viram, Tulasi Pradakshana, the best we can do, we should try to do that. But I sometimes feel that those of us, maybe as disciples, direct disciples, we don't realize his value today. Just like we think how fortunate it is of people who got initiated from Srila Prabhupada. How fortunate are the disciples of Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya. We look at them like that. Many, many centuries later, people, the Vaishnavas will say, how fortunate were the disciples of His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj. Right? Such a Vaishnava Acharya. Even now in the ventilator, he has a counter where he's chanting. In that counter is a special counter which has Tulsi in it. In that counter, he's chanting, unable to talk. Right? He's chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that's what sometimes I feel like, especially I feel compassionate towards some devotees who don't take initiation from him. Saying, not that, I'm not saying others you should not take, I'm saying somewhere you should take initiation with some spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master. But sometimes I feel compassionate when compassionate is not the right word because I'm not eligible to be compassionate. But I feel bad that here is a guru, pure associate of the Lord, willing to give Diksha, and we are saying, sorry, I can't chant. Sorry, I can't leave onion garlic. Sorry, I can't wear kanti mala. Sorry, I'm too busy. Sorry, I have kids. Sorry, I have job. Very, very lame excuses, right? We don't realize the value of it. Even as disciples, actually, that loving relationship, that personal relationship with the guru and disciple has to be experienced. It cannot be described by words. Few days back, last week, I was feeling very guilty that I'm not maybe serving Guru Maharaj very nicely, and I'm not doing anything as a disciple, and I had this sankalpa that I will send reports to Guru Maharaj, email report every month saying this month I did this. I'll make a video that we went to Bharati City, we preached, we did YouTube channel, this, that. We have all the videos also, reels, I'll take from there. Every month I will send this. But because of my laziness and lots of excuses, I didn't send. So I was very sad and almost very dejected. Why is there? How can Guru Maharaj accept me? I'm so horrible, fallen and all of that. That day, just before going to office, I was seeing Guru Maharaj WhatsApp channel. He has Jayapataka Media WhatsApp channel. There, one quote of Guru Maharaj came. That was so touching. Guru Maharaj in that quote, he said, I have one weakness. And that weakness is that I love all my disciples no matter what situation or condition they are in. Right? And I searched for this quote and I found a JSSS lecture. JSSS is Jayapataka Shishya Samuha. In that lecture, the devotees, personal servants of Guru Maharaj, they glorify him. There, one devotee was telling that Guru Maharaj made this statement in a very grave manner that my disciples, I love each and every one of my disciples, no matter what condition or state they are in. He took a pause, then he said, even if they are fallen, I cannot still stop loving them. I will still love them. It was so hope giving, right? And that Prabhu was saying, there have been so many instances where devotees have rejected Guru. Devotees have rejected Guru Maharaj, but not one instance where Guru Maharaj rejected his disciple. Right? There are instances in Bangalore itself, one entire congregation which humiliated Guru Maharaj, physically assaulted Guru Maharaj, thrashed him. Physically, when he was on a stage, they held his hand and pulled him down. And even till date, they are assaulting him, writing articles and blogs, criticizing him and other Vaishnavas like Param Pujya Raghunath Swami Maharaj and so many other Vaishnavas. Every fortnight, they are releasing a magazine criticizing these gurus. And in 2019, when Guru Maharaj came, in a wheelchair, he went to that temple. He met that leader, and there are photos. And he told all the devotees, these are managerial conflicts. As devotees, you don't fight against each other. You come together and serve the Lord. Right? How much compassion he should have. If somebody doesn't invite us properly, doesn't feed us properly, we say, from next time I am never going to his house. Here somebody is physically assaulted after 20-30 years in a wheelchair. He's telling, take me there. He's going there and he's, serving them. Such compassionate souls, we cannot understand their mercy today. I think we need to be purified enough to understand who they are. Right? So anyway, I'll come back to the past time. Where did we stop?
That he fed every devotee.
He fed every devotee. That night, Nityanand Prabhu, he stayed there. Raghunath Das Goswami, he cleaned all that place personally by his hand. He had the Vaishnava Uchishta. He served the lotus feet of Nityanand Prabhu that whole night. He massaged. Next day morning, he took obeisances from every Vaishnava. Seeing this, Nityanand Prabhu called Raghunath Das Goswami. He took his leg and put it on the head of Raghunath Das Goswami. And he said, may you get Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Then he ordered every Vaishnava who was there, he told them, please bless him to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Right? And then Raghunath Das Goswami, he became extremely happy, and Raghunath Das Goswami gave Dakshina to every Vaishnava. Right? Now this might seem like very surprising. He felt so much, no? Why again give Dakshina? It is a rule. Srimad Bhagavatam, actually, in the 5th canto, 26th chapter, Sukadeva Goswami talks about 18 hellish planetary systems. For 28, out of them, there is one hellish planetary system for Grahasthas who don't feed Vaishnavas when Vaishnavas come home. It's called Kumbi Bhojam. Right? When Grahasthas are there, it is their duty to feed the Vaishnavas. And when Vaishnavas come, if Grahasthas think, Arey, why did they come? Arey, I don't have anything. Arey, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. Why are they telling me to chant? Why are they doing this? There is a dedicated hellish planet where such Grahasthas suffer for billions of lifetimes in that hellish planet, Kumbi Bhojam, right? And it is mentioned that when Grahasthas, when we feed Vaishnavas in our home, we are getting mercy from them, which removes obstacles from our life, especially obstacles from our spiritual life. Like Raghunath Das Goswami here, he had obstacles in serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he served Vaishnavas, those obstacles got removed. Right? Even in our lives, we are not getting taste to chant, we are not getting taste in Harikatha, we are not liking Kirtan, we are having problems with devotees, whatever obstacle, material, spiritual, when we feed Vaishnavas, serve Vaishnavas with a pure heart, it gets removed. But after the end of feeding them, we should give them Dakshina. Now why this is when we feed prasad to Vaishnavas, our bad karmas are accepted by them. Once we hear this, we might not go to other Vaishnavas' feasts. Right? But actually our bad karmas are accepted by them. And as a token of gratitude, now they need to digest that karma. So they give Dakshina to Vaishnavas. That, thank you for accepting my service and purifying me. This is your Dakshina. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he gave thousands of gold coins, everything to Nityanand Prabhu and all the acharyas and everything. Then he went back home. Then this episode of Yadunandan Acharya happened, and then Raghunath Das Goswami goes to Puri and he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gambhira. He offers obeisances to him. And you know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he tells this time? He looks at Swarup Damodar, who was standing there, and he tells, finally my devotee has come to me. Finally Raghunath Das Goswami has come. You see the change. Until now, the same Raghunath Das Goswami begged, please accept, please accept. Mahaprabhu didn't accept. Now when he came, he didn't say anything. Raghunath Das Goswami has come, he has come to me, I will accept him. And he told Swarup Damodar Goswami, from today, you will be his Shiksha Guru, you take care of him. Now you see, Raghunath Das Goswami got, by the mercy of Vaishnavas, got Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is nothing higher to get beyond this. After getting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did Mahaprabhu say? He employed another devotee saying, you take care of him. This is why in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is written, Krishna Janya Bhakti Moola Hoya Sadhu Sangha, Krishna Prema Hoya Tevo Punaha Mukhya Anga. That Krishna Janma Bhakti Moola, the root for Krishna Bhakti to appear in our heart, Krishna Bhakti to have Janma, appear in our heart is Sadhu Sangha. But Krishna Prema Tenho Punaha Mukhya Anga. Even after achieving Krishna Prema perfection, again Sadhu Sangha is the main Anga, is the main limb. Without Sadhu Sangha, either in the starting or after perfection, nothing can happen. Okay? And Raghunath Das Goswami's life is the embodiment of that. I actually thought I will cover the entire life of Raghunath Das Goswami until his disappearance, but we are at time now, so I'll not go through the details, but I'll just talk. It's very important for us to understand Raghunath Das Goswami's position, so I'll quickly summarize his life. 16 years he stayed in Puri with Mahaprabhu, right? Did lot of pastimes. Again, I'm saying I won't get into it, but I'm tempted, so I'll cover in one line. Raghunath Das Goswami, in the initial days, Swarup Damodar, he would take bath and come, Swarup Damodar would give him prasad, would have that prasad, chant. Then after a while he thought, I came here to serve, I'm taking service here. I'm taking bath, I'm sitting, one big meal of Mahaprasad is coming, I'm eating that. What is this? He went outside Jagannath Puri temple, sat along with the beggars. When the pujaris would come out or devotees would come out, they would get some money, some dakshina, some prasad, he would eat that. Whatever comes from there, he would eat, beg with that, right? Imagine the wealthiest person at that time was begging and eating. And after a while, Swarup Damodar Goswami went and saw, he was not seen in the line of beggars. Then he kept searching and he saw Raghunath Das Goswami is going wherever there is free pandals, prasadam is given, he is going there. He asked him, why did you come here? Raghunath Das Goswami said, when I was sitting and begging, I started committing aparadha. I started mentally committing aparadha, thinking that, oh, this person looks very favorable, he might give me prasad. This person is very, chidau, he won't give me anything. So like that I started judging Vaishnavas and I started committing aparadha and I realized I don't deserve that mercy. Wherever free food was given, he was going there. After a while, there also he was not to be seen. Everybody was searching, where is Raghunath? Raghunath Das Goswami would go behind the Jagannath temple. There is a sewage where waste prasadam would go. Devotees would eat prasadam, gutter, yeah. So from that gutter, Raghunath Das Goswami would pick, wash that rice and eat that rice. And he would eat and he would ensure that nobody is seeing all this, because otherwise they will glorify him, and he didn't want that. He would eat hidingly. And once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Swarup Damodar, where is Raghunath Das Goswami? I am not seeing him. So Swarup Damodar said, come, I'll show you. He took him, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunath Das Goswami, Swarup Damodar, they saw Raghunath Das Goswami eating, washing and eating. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumped there, he held Raghunath Das Goswami's hand, took that rice and he ate it. And he said, this is the yummiest feast I have ever had. And Raghunath Das Goswami said, Mahaprabhu, this is not meant for you, it's meant for me. And Mahaprabhu said, whatever touches your hand is Amrita for it, it's nectar. And I am relishing this. Right? So in this way, Raghunath Das Goswami performed lot of pastimes for those 16 years. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left his body at the age of 48, Raghunath Das Goswami reduced this also, eating from the sewage. That also he reduced. He used to have buttermilk in one donna in every 3 days. Then after a few years, when Mahaprabhu left, he couldn't bear the separation. He thought, I'll commit suicide. He went to Govardhan. He went on top of Govardhan, about to jump. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, they hold him. And they tell him that, don't commit suicide. If you really love Mahaprabhu, you serve as per his instruction. You don't jump and commit suicide like this. So then, respecting them, he starts serving, right? But when Sanatan Goswami leaves his body, he comes from buttermilk once every 3 days to just water. Then when Rupa Goswami leaves his body, Raghunath Das Goswami leaves everything. No water, no buttermilk, only chanting Harinam. Raghunath Das Goswami used to do bhajan for 22.5 hours every day. And 1.5 hour, he used to take rest. Right? And in that 22.5 hours, he used to do bhajan, he used to give classes. in that classes in Vrindavan, a devotee used to sit by the name Chida Dahi Goswami. Who was this devotee? Anybody knows? I guess not. Manu Prashad, if it's there. Yeah. So I'll also wrap up very soon. But yeah, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He wrote the 9 volumes. And he wrote that one of the sources was the notes from the classes of Raghunath Das Goswami. Right? So that's how Raghunath Das Goswami used to teach. And also, again, maybe some other time I'll cover, but Krishna used to personally protect Raghunath Das Goswami. Krishna, Radharani, they used to personally protect. Once, Raghunath Das Goswami never built a bhajan kuti. He was sitting and chanting on the banks of Yamuna. And a lion had come there drinking water of Yamuna. And there was one Gopa boy who was standing there protecting Raghunath Das Goswami from that lion. And Sanatan Goswami came there and saw that boy is Krishna. And he tells Raghunath Das Goswami, you are taking service from the Lord or you are giving service to the Lord? How can Krishna come and stand as watchman for you? Right? This is not good. So you build a bhajan kuti. Raghunath Das Goswami said, I am very sorry, I'll build a bhajan kuti. Then he forgot. He got into his bhajan, forgot fully. Then he's again sitting in the hot sun and chanting. Then Rupa Goswami came there and he saw Radharani is standing there with her pallu. She's holding the pallu on the head of Raghunath Das Goswami. On one hand, she's holding the pallu. Other hand, she's sweating and she's covering her sweat. And there is that very famous picture on YouTube also you can see where Radharani is holding the pallu and she's wiping her sweat. Rupa Goswami scolds him, "Arey, you fool! Radharani is serving you. What are you doing? You build bhajan kutir, right?" So then it was all out of love. Like Goswamis also used to chastise out of love each other. They had that loving relationship. And Raghunath Das Goswami said, "I will definitely do it." And he built a small bhajan kutir. You know Radha Kund, Shyam Kund, who built it?
I saw that.
It was built by Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami built that. He constructed it. He wanted money to build it. He didn't have it. One rich, wealthy merchant, he went to Badrikashram with lot of money. The DT, Badrikashram DT said, there is my devotee, Raghunath Das Goswami in Vrindavan. You go to him and you give this money to him. He needs it. That devotee came finding in Vrindavan, where is this Baba? He gave it to Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami made Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. He wanted to make it rectangle. But Radha Kund, Shyam Kund is not rectangle. It's very odd shape. You know why? They had dug and?
Radha had dug it and from Krishna had called on the holy rivers to come.
Yeah, all of that is true. But when they were constructing, in the dream of Raghunath Das Goswami, Pandavas came. And they said, we are standing in the edge of Shyamakund as 5 trees. We are residing in Vrindavan. If you kill us, if you cut us, we will lose our residence of Vrindavan. Please don't take away Vrindavan from us. Pandavas are also begging a devotee like Raghunath Das Goswami, please allow us to stay in Vrindavan. So abiding by that, Raghunath Das Goswami instructs the servants, you don't cut those trees, go from the side. So that is why that shape is like that, right? So finally, I'll end with this. Every Acharya, they have a prominence, right? Sanatan Goswami is called Sambandha Acharya, because he tells what is our sambandh with the Lord. Rupa Goswami is called Abhideya Acharya. Abhideya means, now that I know what is my relationship with the Lord, how do I practice that? Abhideya means practice. That is why I wrote Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion and all of that. But Raghunath Das Goswami is called Prayojan Acharya. Now that I know the sambandh and I am practicing it, what is the goal of that practice? That is Prayojan. In like Kannada language we say, in Prayojana. What is the Prayojana, right? The Prayojan Acharya is Raghunath Das Goswami and he is called Prema Prayojan Acharya because he teaches us that the Prayojan of Sadhana Bhakti is Krishna Prema. That is why it's called Prema Prayojan. So to get established relationship with Krishna, we should pray to Sanatan Goswami. To practice that knowledge that we learn, we should pray to Rupa Goswami. And to realize that knowledge and attain Krishna Prema, we should pray to Raghunath Das Goswami. And in the eternal world, Raghunath Das Goswami is Tulasi, Manjari, Bhanumati, and is a combination of multiple Manjaris in the eternal world. I'll stop here. Any questions or anything to share? Any takeaways?
You said Prabhupada will reveal something about Jaipur.
Prabhupada?
You said he revealed something about.
Yeah.
What was it?
When Prabhupada started Mayapur and Srinath Prabhu was there. Srinath Prabhu was a member of parliament and he was a very wealthy person. So Prabhupada told Srinath Prabhu that this person you see, Jayapataka Swami, He's an American citizen, but I've given him the seva of developing Mayapur. He's struggling to get his Indian citizenship. I want you to push through your political influence. I want you to give him Indian citizenship. And this Srinath Prabhu reveals, it's a YouTube video where Srinath Prabhu shares this in the 50th anniversary of Prabhupada's going to West. Right, on 2017, in a huge stage, Srinathji Prabhu comes and he shares this, that Prabhupada told me this in front of Jayapataka Swami and all the other devotees who were there in that room. And Prabhupada said, you get him Indian citizenship. And then Srinathji said, yes Prabhupada, whatever is your order. And just to ensure that this doesn't go as any other order, every order of Guru is important. But just to tell the importance again, Prabhupada said, don't, I'm telling you again, give him Indian citizenship because this Jayapataka Swami is an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 500 years back when Mahaprabhu came, Jayapataka Swami was also there and he was an eternal associate. He was a close associate of Mahaprabhu. So he revealed this, Prabhupada revealed this to Srinath Prabhu. And Srinath Prabhu told that to the whole world. Today also when somebody tells Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, you are associate of this, he humbly says, I don't know all that. Prabhupada said, I don't know anything. He says like that. But you can see how much love Guru Maharaj has for Gaur Leela, for Gauranga Mahaprabhu. The love he had to develop that whole Mayapur from barren land to the biggest temple in the whole world, Temple of Vedic Planetarium. Even at this age, he attends managerial meetings to build that temple. Right? But that's what he revealed to the whole world, that Jayapataka Maharaj is an eternal associate of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. If somehow Guru Maharaj blesses us and stays with us for some more time, it will be very nice if all of you take initiation. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra together once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's also offer our gratitude to Nishit Prabhu and Mataji, Sonali Mataji, and the kids as well for hosting us. So we'll chant once Hare Krishna Mahamantra for their spiritual and material well-being. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. PaniHati Chida Dahi Mahotsav ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, and Tagore Sitanath Bandi, Hare Hare.
हम प्रश्न लेके चलेंगे तो क्या बात है
आप कोई आराम से 10 मिनट से
हम प्रश्न लेके चलेंगे
नहीं माता जी नहीं